right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Terrifying moments for a St. Louis musician. Her home riddled with gunfire overnight, injuring one of her dogs.
Gun violence, we see it all the time, but I guess I just thought I've never had it come this close to home.
We take you inside the damaged home where she narrowly escaped harm. As the search for suspects involved in this week's deadly shooting in downtown St. Louis continues, we introduce you to a new effort to keep kids off the streets.
We've got to be there for them right now before they break something that we're not able to fix.
The summer sizzle is back for the weekend, plus I'm tracking our chances for severe thunderstorms.
Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. We begin in a weather alert tonight. The hottest temperatures of the year so far are expected this weekend across the bi-state. Let's get right to meteorologist Jim Castillo with a look at your weather first forecast.
Yes, mid-90s for tomorrow and also on Sunday, but it's more humid as we get into tomorrow. And look at this, an air quality alert reissued for tomorrow around the metro back to Franklin County. And this is from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. We've seen this for weeks. So feels like forecast at temperature, heat and humidity combined, 95 to 100. This is 4 p.m. on Saturday. So stay hydrated. This huge dome of high pressure that's been baking Texas, New Mexico, and also Mexico is right on the edge of us. So we're going to have a couple days here of high heat, but the jet stream is overhead. So we're watching all the storms to our north and west, and some of them are headed our way. Main threats will be some strong gusty wind and also some large hail, and most of the metro now in yellow. That's level 2 out of 5. And so watching that future cast, and you can see this even really most of Saturday and Sunday's dry, but as we go into tomorrow evening and the overnight hours, and it's when we'll watch for that chance of storms, Mike.
And if you're heading out this weekend, remember you can get the forecast sent to your phone anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. Tonight, St. Louis police are trying to identify these teens seen in this picture. They're wanted for questioning in last weekend's shooting that left 1 teen dead and 11 others hurt. You can see they're all holding guns. The image may come as a shock to many in the area given their young ages. But for those who work with at-risk youth every day, it only reinforces the need for continued intervention. 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon joins us live in downtown St. Louis with a closer look at some solutions. Brent?
Well, Mike, beginning tonight, Mayor Jones is keeping certain recreation centers in the city open later. And many people are saying we can't stop there.
Teenagers running for their lives following last weekend's deadly mass shooting downtown. As if these images weren't enough, Friday, this crystal clear image of boys toting guns coming to light because police want to question them.
When you have music that reinforces crime and violence, and then you look outside your front door, and then you go to school and your friends are all a part of that mentality, we've got to be more sophisticated.
James Clark with the Urban League of Metro St. Louis is on a mission to engage with at-risk youth as early as 14.
Call them twice a day, visit them at least once or twice a week, do an activity with them at least once a week.
The program is called Reroute. 10 young men currently enrolled in the program that's in its second year of making a difference.
None of them have reoffended.
What's up, Aiden? How you doing today, sir?
Meantime, city recreation centers are playing a part too. As a result of last week's tragedy, the mayor has extended hours to keep kids off the street.
You come here a lot or what?
Every day.
12-year-old Mikkel Smith tells me he gets real-life advice from coaches here and has an opportunity to be a role model to boys younger than him.
You know, I think what the mayor is trying to do with recreational centers is good. It will help some young people get there, but not all.
It's why the community is coming together to create change.
But we've got to be there for them right now before they break something that we're not able to fix.
What if this wreck was not here? What if they didn't have it?
It won't be nothing to do for real.
So this gives you something to do. Police say if you recognize the boys seen in that photo, call Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous. That number is 866-371-TIPS. Live in downtown St. Louis, Brent Solomon, 5 on Your Side.
Recent violent crimes in downtown St. Louis has many business owners worried about the impact it could have on their foot traffic. The co-owner of Ucraft tells 5 on Your Side sales rise 20 to 25% during conferences, tournaments, and other large events. But he's concerned they may decide to leave the city because of violence and is calling for action right now.
What we would like to see, just a bigger police presence, and I know there's been a change over at the prosecuting attorney's office, and I'm very encouraged by that, and hopefully we can carry that momentum and kind of flip the narrative a little bit that it is safe to be down here.
With Pride Fest happening this weekend, police say they will have extra patrols in the area, especially on Washington Avenue. A St. Louis musician is reliving the scare of her life, her home and her dog targeted in a random drive-by shooting overnight. New tonight, and only on 5 on Your Side, she shares the terrifying moments with our Robert Townsend.
I think we're all a little nervous.
It was a frightful Friday for Ellen Cook and her beloved pets.
On my couch watching a movie, and then all of a sudden, it was just a bunch of gunshots that came through my window.
Bullet after bullet struck her brick home, shattered her front glass door, tore through her living and dining room walls.
Right there, right there, right there, right there, ricocheted all over.
Ellen lives in the Gravois Park neighborhood in South St. Louis.
I just got down on the floor. It's really, really scary.
Cook, a St. Louis musician for more than 20 years, soon saw her precious 10-month-old Mastiff mix, Wesley,
He was bleeding everywhere.
suffered 3 gunshot wounds.
He's alive, but he was shot through the shoulder and through the back.
Neighbors told police at least 2 people rode by in a red Ford Expedition. They say the front seat passenger repeatedly blasted rapid gunfire into Cook's home.
I'm just kind of in shock right now.
Ellen says police found 19 bullets on the first floor of her home.
They had the wrong house, it was a drive-by.
She rushed Wesley to a veterinarian for treatment. Sadly, 2 bullets remain in her dog, but she knows he is truly lucky.
The bullet was like an inch away from his spine, super close to his heart and lungs.
The shooter definitely robbed Ellen of her peace and so much more. A home she's lived in for more than a decade just isn't the same right now.
All we can do is just try to be aware of how to be safe going forward.
What would give you peace of mind?
Just that there's some kind of systemic change happening to where, we actually get to the root of the problem instead of just arresting people.
Robert Townsend.
He's such a good boy.
5 on Your Side.
Right now, police are looking for the person who fired shots at an unmarked police car. Those shots rang out just before noon in the Ville neighborhood. Police say plainclothes detectives and the anti-crime task force were following a vehicle when someone shot at the officers from an alley. You can see bullet holes on the driver's side of the vehicle. One of the officers suffered cuts from shards of glass. Tonight, we have an update on a deadly explosion at an ammunition plant in East Alton. Police say Oscar Bedorf died when a truck exploded at the Olin Winchester ammunition plant yesterday afternoon. We're told he was driving the truck carrying shotgun shell primers. Still no word on what caused that explosion. Olin Winchester manufactures small caliber ammunition for the military. For the first time in 13 years, water rates are going up in the city of St. Louis. The Board of Aldermen approved the rate hike this morning, and that means water bills will go up on average $5 a month starting July 1st, and then there will be another $5 increase in January. Mayor Tashara Jones says the increase is long overdue and will help pay for day-to-day operations and repairs to aging infrastructure. Now to a traffic alert that could affect your weekend travel plans. This is a live look at Interstate 70 at Cave Springs in St. Charles County. Right now, MoDOT crews are shutting down the highway for the whole weekend to take down the old bridge. MoDOT is asking you to avoid the area if possible. All lanes are expected to reopen just in time for Monday morning's rush hour. A memorable day at Washington University. Local athletes and legends were at the university's track for Olympic Day. Track and field great Dawn Harper-Nelson and diver Lou Bertucci were among the local Olympians who led hundreds of kids around the track today, along with our very own Rennie Knott. 5 on Your Side caught up with Olympic champion Jackie Joyner-Kersee. The East St. Louis native says events like this help kids learn core values for both sports and life.
Some of them have never been on a track before. That's why they're so anxious and they're ready to go. But they learn about one another. They also learn how to respect the sport, respect the space, but then also respect themselves.
Francis Olympic Field at Wash U was actually the site of the 1904 Olympic Games. It's also the oldest Olympic stadium still in use. It's been nearly 1 year since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Today, federal leaders discuss what's changed in the bi-state since that ruling.
All they did was ignite us on fire. All they did was give us more fuel.
Beating the heat. You may have your own methods to keep your home cool, but are they really getting the job done? What you can do now to stay cool without breaking the bank.
The heat is here and the humidity goes up on Saturday. Plus, I'll time out when storms may hit.
Since the day the Dobbs decision came down 1 year ago tomorrow, we've seen the devastating effects all across the country.
Tomorrow marks 1 year since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and today President Biden and Vice President Harris rallied reproductive rights supporters in Washington, D.C. Less than a mile away, former VP Mike Pence was calling for a 15-week federal abortion ban. After the decision, Missouri became the first state to ban abortions. Today, federal and local leaders met in St. Louis to discuss the changes that have happened in the last 12 months. Planned Parenthood said its Fairview Heights location has seen a 700% increase in patients seeking abortion services, with about 40% traveling outside of Missouri to Illinois. U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra said they will continue supporting Planned Parenthood and reiterated that contraception is not abortion.
If I could say it today, a year after Dobbs, here again in the same place, in the state of Missouri, we are here to walk with you. Dobbs just gave us a reason to fight harder.
Coalition Life, an anti-abortion agency, tells 5 on Your Side they've also seen an uptick in patients and have expanded their services. They're located next door to Planned Parenthood in Fairview Heights. Tonight, a renewed investigation into the catastrophic implosion of the Titan sub is underway. Right now, equipment is being sent down to the seafloor to get a closer look. The remotely operated vehicle will map the debris field and try and establish a timeline and piece together what may have caused the implosion that killed all 5 people on board.
That could give some clues as to issues with the material or issues with the construction.
There's also growing scrutiny for OceanGate, the company that operated the Titan. Many questioning the design of the deep water submersible, the materials used to make it, and its safety. Well, we're all trying to stay cool these days, but are your tried and true methods really getting the job done? Brandon Lewis from our National Verified team looks into how to stay cool without breaking the bank.
When temperatures begin to rise, finding relief from the heat becomes a top priority. But are there ways to stay cool without burning through your wallet? Many Verified viewers reached out with questions about ways they've heard to beat the heat. So we looked into whether they actually work. First up, will closing your blinds help keep your home cooler? So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Department of Energy and Lowe's. When sunlight hits double-pane windows with the blinds open, the DOE says about 76% of it turns into heat. You can help lower that number by closing the blinds. Lowe's recommends using a white blind or shade because it will help deflect more heat. The DOE says the exact percentage saved also depends on the material of your blinds. For example, an insulated shade could reduce unwanted heat by up to 60%, while using just a white curtain will help reduce the heat by 1/3. So, yes, closing your blinds will help keep your home cooler. All right, next up is a question I frequently ask myself when heading to work. Does turning off the AC at home when I leave for the day save money? Admittedly, the answer to this question has a lot of variables, like where you live and how hot it is outside. Generally, our energy experts recommend leaving the air on during the day. Just turn it up a few degrees. Duke Energy explains you'll use less energy keeping your home at a modest temperature throughout the day, rather than blasting the AC when you get home to try and cool the house. Nebraska's Southwest Public Power District notes turning off your AC could cause your refrigerator to work extra hard to keep food cold, which would negate any savings from turning off the air. Plus, humidity levels may increase, leading to mold, mildew, and causing damage to electronics. So, no, in general, turning off the AC when leaving for the day does not save money. This brings us to our final question about staying cool. So, let's verify. Is there a right temperature to maximize savings? The DOE and Energy Star say setting the AC to 78 degrees is the ideal temperature to maximize savings when you're home. This is about 10% cheaper than setting it at 74 degrees. If you live in an especially warm area, then HVAC technicians recommend setting your AC 20 degrees cooler than the outdoor temperature to avoid straining your air conditioning. So, yes, there is a right temperature to maximize savings. We hope these tips help save you a bit of money this summer. We featured even more of your questions about staying cool on verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like us to verify? Email us at verify@ksdk.com. And just in time for the hot summer temperatures, the Heman Park Pool in University City reopens tomorrow. The pool was damaged by flash flooding last summer. It'll be open from noon till 6, and you'll have to pay admission to get into the rec center. The pool has undergone repairs, including new fencing, electrical work, and pool pumps. If you're looking for a summer job, U-City is still accepting applications for lifeguards and staff. And meteorologist Jim Castillo rejoins us now with that weather first forecast. And what about those storms tomorrow?
Yeah, you know, we've got the timing on that for you. I'm starting with that, Mike, because that way it stays in everybody's heads what's going on. So most of tomorrow looks dry. Also Sunday. So when are the storms expected to hit? So if they pop up in your neighborhood, it'll be more likely after 6 p.m. and then go till 4 a.m. on Sunday. And then most of Sunday's dry, but we might see an isolated storm popping up. But looks like a pretty dry Saturday and Sunday, and very hot too, more humid on Saturday. Right now we're close to 80, even around St. Louis at this hour. We are in weather alert, and 91 for that high today, 88 for the average, but that humidity stayed in check. Now I'm seeing the dew point climbing and the humidity going up. And plus, just let's zoom in to this cluster of storms out west and northwest of us. It's all moving toward us, so it's a giant cluster of weather. We have tornado watches here and severe thunderstorm watches there. Where is that? Well, that's in Nebraska and also the Dakotas, and then almost into Iowa. So the future cast, let's check that out. So as we go into the daytime, like I said, tomorrow it's dry, but you'll notice that southerly wind bringing in that humidity, and that feels like temperature close to 100 in a couple spots. Then this particular model shows after 6 p.m. some of those storms erupting across the area. Other models hold off until later at night, so we'll see which actual model wins, but some storm activity expected into the overnight hours and then ending as we get into early, probably before sunrise on Sunday. So just watching for that chance of severe weather. We're in yellow now, including a large part of the metro, and it's a high wind gust to 60 miles an hour, large hail. Also the real possibilities here as these storms move in. We can't really rule out a tornado either. All right, so feels like temperature for tomorrow again, 95 to 100 degrees. Then on Sunday, it's breezy, less humid, and the feels like temperature not as bad as Saturday, about 90 at 4 o'clock. So still some mid-90s for high temperatures on Saturday. All right, so it looks dry for the Pride Parade on Sunday, but 98 tomorrow, guys, 96 Sunday. And again, less humid and wind gusts to about 35 miles an hour. It's breezy on Monday, but cooler, 89. That's still hot, but we'll take it. 90 on Tuesday, 92 on Wednesday. And then back up Thursday, that high pressure builds back in. We're almost to 100 Friday, and then cooler, a little bit cooler next weekend.
Okay, Jim, thanks. Corey is here with sports.
A Cardinals legend is getting ready to pitch in his fourth country. I'll take you inside the City SC supporter section. We've got one of the most important high school hoops games in the area this year. That's next in sports.
And Pride Fest kicks off tomorrow in St. Louis. The two-day festival will take over downtown with live entertainment and vendors. And as part of it, the Grand Pride Parade will make its way down Market Street Sunday at noon. If you can't make it in person, we'll stream the parade live on the 5+ app. It's free to download on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. And we've made it easier to find out more about Pride events happening this month in the area. Just text the word Pride to 314-425-5355 and we can send you a link.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
Set those watches to London time. In about 13 hours, the Cardinals and Cubs will add another chapter to their rivalry, this time across the pond. Appropriately getting the start on the mound tomorrow is the man adding another feather to his cap in his final season, Adam Wainwright. Waino has had a decent run of nice starts, and in his final season is living up this unique experience over in London, even serenading a River Thames cruise yesterday. Our Cardinals insider in London has more on Waino's adventures abroad.
He was on a double-decker bus this morning with Wilson Contreras, totally relaxed, very eager for his next start. It will be the first time a National League pitcher pitches in the UK. And of course, this will be Adam's 4th country that he's pitched in. He does, however, he's one behind Paul Goldschmidt, who when he steps onto the field tomorrow on Saturday, will be the first Major League player to play in 5 countries. But overall, Adam is just so excited. There's not many things that he has not done in his illustrious career.
With the 30th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the LA Clippers select Kobe Brown from the University of Missouri.
Imagine hearing that signature NBA draft tone as the commissioner walks to the mic, knowing it's your name he's going to call. Well, Mizzou Kobe Brown knows just what that feels like. He's headed to the Los Angeles Clippers as Mizzou's first-round pick since 2018. Brown and his Mizzou head coach, Dennis Gates, want this to be just the start of the program, churning out top picks again.
It lets players know, like high-caliber players know that Mizzou is no slouch. You can fulfill your dreams at Mizzou for sure. So hopefully, it brings out, the best players in the country. Hopefully Mizzou keeps growing and, just becomes that powerhouse like it used to be.
It doesn't matter how many times you call a recruit, how many times you show up to a game, but if there's the synergy and the trust there with their career into my hands and vice versa, my career into theirs, something special can really happen.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC will be in San Jose tomorrow trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. I was in the supporter section on Wednesday putting together a story for Sports Plus. And after seeing the chaos in the North End stands from afar this season, I knew I had to embed myself in there for a game. The supporter party with the St. Louligans and others starts some 3 hours before game time across the street from City Park, leads to a spirited march around the stadium, and then pandemonium on the inside. And I really can't explain the supporter section experience much better than this guy does.
It's like the best version of church you've ever been to, except church and the Dallas Cowboys had or the St. Louis Cardinals had a baby, and then those two things combined, you get the elation and the ups and downs of a good sermon, but you also get beer thrown on you. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Really neat event tonight out at Duchesne High School. Some of the top high school basketball recruits in the area are coming together to benefit Make-A-Wish. But this isn't just any all-star game. For 2 years, it's been organized by Wish kid Luke Karhoff, who wanted to give back to the organization that once helped him through his own tough times.
Make-A-Wish is, honestly, it's been the biggest help in my entire life. I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer when I was 9 years old, and then Make-A-Wish was in my hospital room asking me what my wish would be about a month later. And through that, my wish to train with the U.S. men's national soccer team came true back in 2015.
Nice event out there tonight. And Mike, the Cardinals really got to get going. Hopefully they can start in London. The Reds are just going to run away with this division now, it looks like.
It's like 12 games in a row, 12 wins in a row for the Reds.
Packed crowd, everybody's having excitement. Who would have thought?
Yeah, not me. All right, Corey, thanks. New neighbors in Belleville, the push to bring chicken coops to a backyard near you. Tomorrow you can enjoy a beer while hanging out with some farm animals. Grant's Farm is bringing some fan favorites to the Anheuser-Busch Beer Garden from noon until 3 o'clock. It's to celebrate Grant's Farm 120th anniversary and the Budweiser Clydesdale's 90th anniversary. A big debate in Belleville over whether people can have chickens in their backyards. Residents are asking the city council to approve the ordinance. Other towns in the Metro East currently allow chickens. A coyote decoy is now standing guard at a Springfield, Missouri park. Officials are worried about geese droppings staining newly poured concrete in Nathaniel Green Park. They hope the decoy will keep the birds away. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show is next. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 6. And have a great tomorrow.